face the worst humanitarian crisis in history. So-called water refugees are... Millions of people are on the move. Borders around the world are jammed with the desperate and the starving. Water is their single biggest demand.
It has been 10 years since the world's population doubled. Hundreds of millions of people are leaving their homes. Along the coast of Los Angeles, many desalination plants lie abandoned. Once a city of 20 million, water shortages shut businesses down. The apartment buildings built after the population doubled are abandoned. The California dream has run dry. It relied on water stored in vast reservoirs on the Colorado River. Now they're almost empty, drained by too much farming and too many thirsty cities. Farms, once the hope for the world, have run out of water. Farmers have no choice but to leave. They join a growing exodus north. The destination? Wherever there's water and hope. But it's a dangerous journey. Stopping for water is risky. Ponds and streams are full of pesticides and fertilizers from farmers' fields.
Reports from around the country find water is selling for as much as $7.50 a liter. The Department of Agriculture also said that aquifer levels are at an all-time low.
Everywhere, water is more valuable than oil. Each of us needs about 2 liters a day to survive. If we get less than this for more than a day or two, our bodies start to dehydrate. We stop urinating, stop sweating. The mind gets confused and disoriented. If we don't get water soon, we'll die. More and more of the world's water is polluted. Streams carry chemicals to the Mississippi River and from here to the Gulf of Mexico. The fertilizer causes algae blooms on the surface that cover hundreds of square kilometers. As the algae dies, it sucks oxygen out of the water. The result is a floating desert. The fish can't breathe here. Plants can't grow. A cycle of pollution, contamination, and death is spreading across the planet. In North America, water refugees head for the world's largest surface reservoir of fresh water, the Great Lakes. They were formed by the end of the last ice age 12,000 years ago. Their water left over as the glaciers melted. Now, millions of people are heading for its shores. Chicago, Detroit, and Toronto are bursting at the seams. There are other sources of fresh water. Two-thirds of the world's fresh water is locked up in polar and glacial ice. At the North Pole, nations use dynamite to blast pieces of ice loose. They're towed to coastal cities, including San Francisco and New York. But the millions who have fled the dry south for the Great Lakes are facing harsh conditions. Vast tent cities and shanty towns grow outside of urban centers like Chicago and Toronto. Doubling the world's population has led to the biggest migration in the history of the planet. The biggest collapse is about to follow.